Okay, so you do a wash, and then you take your brush and pick up a lot of water and just spatter it with water drops while the ink or watercolor is still wet, and it will look like snow falling. Set that aside to dry. We're going to do another wash. You basically get your brush totally wet and kind of go down the page with just water. Then you go into a color and you start at the top and move your way down the page, and it gets lighter and lighter, right? I'll use a little bit darker color at the top, and we're just gonna go down the page, and it gets lighter and lighter. Adding a little more pigment at the top makes it look more like a night sky or something, right? Okay, and then while the ink is still wet, or the watercolor is still wet, we're gonna use kosher salt. See how it's really big granules? Sea salt, kosher salt, and you just want to drop it onto the watercolor. And what that salt will do is it will absorb that ink. And you can see it's starting to turn blue in places. It just soaks up that pigment a little bit. And you just need to let it dry. So I'm gonna take my tape off here and set that aside while we do a third technique. Okay. We're gonna do another wash. It helps to tape your watercolor paper down. Get a small brush for that. Let's see. I'm just going to add, this is called Bleedproof White, Dr. P.H. Martin Bleedproof White. I'm just getting it a little runny, added a little water to it. So basically, here we are again, adding water to our paper. We're going to do a wash down the page. Add a little water here. Okay, and then we're going to start with our darker blue. And it fades out as you go down the page. Now on this one, you need to wait for, looking for water, there we go. You need to wait for it to dry. So, let me show you the others. This one, water splattered onto it. This one, our salt has absorbed ink. Now we're gonna wipe the salt off. I'm gonna just brush it off into my trash can. Oop, it wasn't dry completely. Dang. Okay, but you can see the effect. It leaves little white dots where the salt was. Gotta let it dry. That's the trick. This one, same thing. Gotta let it dry. So I'm just going to put this on here and I'll show you this trick. So I'm going into my Bleedproof white. And basically, we're just going to tap it on. Bleedproof white is nice because it doesn't pick up the color of the pigment. And it's just like a pure white ink. And you can do the same thing with your like White Daisy pigment pad. You could, you know, put it out on the side and add a little water to it and splatter it like that. Or you can, you know, use a shimmer pen or something to get white splatters. So that's how we're getting snow look in the sky. And I'm gonna add my little polar bears or deer to this and make some scenes.